In this lesson, we will focus one of the network models of networking, OSI Referance Model. So after this lesson, we have 5 questions, and let's see that how many of these questions will be answered by you correctly. By the way, what is network model? It's a logical view to networking. There is no physical borders, etc. And it is only a logical view. Why we use this logical view? We use this logical view to categorize networking devices, protocols, and standards. And this is a standardization in networking world. There are 2 types of network models. One of them is OSI Reference Model, and the other one is TCP/IP model. And TCP/IP model has also 2 types, 4 layered model and 5 layered model. This is our OSI Reference Model with cats. They are very cute. And here the first layer is physical layer, the second one is data link, third one is network 4th, transport, 5th session, 6th presentation, and last layer, the 7th layer, is application layer. OSI Reference Model is created by ISO, International Standard Organization, and this is a conceptual model, as I mentioned before, and we have 7 layers. This is a very critical question in your job interviews, especially if you're a new engineer for the entrance role. In networking, they will ask this question too much to you. How many layers are there in OSI Reference Model? The first layer is physical layer. It is the layer of actual connectivity. If you are using cabling, then electrical signals are used here. Or if you are using wireless devices, then radio signals are used. They are digital or analog signals. And these digital and analog signals are converted to bit flows in binary format to other end. And physical layer is the layer of network cabling and connectors. Especially as a device, all tabs works also in this layer. Yes, this is a view of layer 1. In real, if your data center or cabling are like this complex, then you can lose yourself in this layer 1. The second one is data link layer. In data link layer is the layer of physical addressing, MAC addressing. All the devices has a MAC address, as you know, all the interfaces, and this is the physical address of these devices, and data link is this layer. This layer transfers the data to the physical destination, and it also defines how data is formatted. And in this layer, a layer 2 header and trailer is added to the data. And this is data link. Encapsulation part we will talk about in the following slides, and the frames are the key points of here. When we add data to layer 2 header and trailer, then it becomes a frame. In this layer, there is also flow control, error detection, and CRC. Here, data link layer provides error-free transfer of different categories of data frames. It detects physical layer errors and corrects them in this layer. One of the most important devices working in data link layer is layer 2 switch. There are some protocols that work the data link layer also. ATM Ethernet, point-to-point protocol, STP, VTP, and LLDP. By the way, data link layer has 2 sublayers. One of them is media access control layer, and the other one is logical link control layer. So the MAC sublayer controls how a computer on the network gains access to the data and permission to transmit it, and it carries the physical address of each device on the network and the logical link control responsible for managing frames to upper and lower layers. Flow control mechanisms and error checking are also work on this layer. The third layer is network layer, and this layer is also a popular layer between network engineers. So why? Because routers are in these layers. And this is the layer of logical addressing. What is logical addressing? Logical addressing is IP addressing. Remember, the previous layer was the layer of physical addressing. There were MACs there. And here, this is the layer of logical addressing, IP addressing. And this network layer provides connectivity of different networks with these IP addresses. And routing is also on this layer. There are routing protocols that we will talk about in the following lessons. All these routing protocols works on this network layer. Network layer adds a layer 3 header to the data. Remember, in layer 2, there is a header and a trailer. And here, there is only a header. Routers works, and also layer 3 switch works on this layer, and there are different protocols works on this layer. IPv4, IPv6, ICMP, IPsec, OSPF, BGP, etc. Yes, this is fourth layer, transport layer. This is the layer of TCP, UDP, and HTTP. This layer provides end-to-end secure communication, and it establishes, maintains, and manages the secure communication. Transport layer adds layer 4 header to the data, and when it adds this header, the data becomes segment. And TCP, UDP, and HTTP are the protocols that work on this transport layer. This layer is very important for network engineers and very critical also for network operations. Error recovery, flow control, and quality of service is also the role of this layer. After these 4 layers, we come to the upper layers. The previous ones were lower layers, and these are upper layers. Session layer is responsible for session establishment, maintenance, and termination. And there are multiplexes, transport layer services here. And they are mainly used by application developers because this is used by applications themselves. For example, when you log into a server for file transfer, this is the role of session layer. Presentation layer is the translation layer of OSI Reference Model. So the data translation between different formats are done in this layer. As you know, there are some data formats like JPEG, GIF, MP3, MP4, etc. And the translation between these data formats are done in this presentation layer. Encryption and compression is also one of the roles of presentation layer. The last layer is application layer, and the application layer is the closest layer to the user. So the programs, the applications are on this layer. This is the bridge between applications and the networks. The application layer of OSI model let programs to reach the network resources. There are many different application layer protocols works in this layer, and some of them are Telnet, FTP, SNMP, HTTPS, SSL, and etc. We have finished OSI reference model layers. And now let's remember the encapsulation part again. And I'll give you an example, a real-world example. For example, you are sending an email to your friend. So it is coming from the upper layers with application presentation and session layers. And in transport layers, a layer 4 header is added to this data, your data. And in this data, it is becoming a segment. And after that, in network parts, a layer 3 header is added to this data. Segment, and then the segment becomes packet. And in data link layer, a layer 3 header and layer 3 trailer is added to this packet, and the packet becomes frame. And after this layer, data link layer send this frame to the physical layer, and in physical layer, bits and bytes are sending with voltage to the other end. This is encapsulation part. At the other end, it is decapsulated. So ones and zeros are coming to the physical layer and sent to data link layer. In data link layer, layer 2 header end, layer 2 trailer is remote and it is sent to network layer. And in network layer, the network layer is remote and it is sent to transport layer. And lastly, in transport layer, the transport header is remote and it is sent to the session presentation and application layers, and your friend received your email. Let's remember upper layers and lower layers again. Upper layers are top 3 layers of OSI reference model. So network engineers do not work here. They are the job of software developers, and the lower layers are our popular layers. The network engineers layers are these lower layers. These are physical, data link, network, and transport layers. Yes, we have finished our lesson, and it is time to test our knowledge. Question 1. How many layers are there in OSI reference model? Yes, the answer is 7. OSI reference model has 7 layers. Question 2. In which OSI reference model layer logical IP addresses are used? Physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, or session layer? The answer is network layer. So logical IP addressing, IP addresses, routing is done in network layer of OSI Reference Model. Question 3. TCP, UDP, HTTP works on ... of OSI model. What do you think? Physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer? Yes, you know the answer correctly. This is transport layer. Which OSI layer is responsible for network cabling? Physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, application layer. It's a piece of cake for you, and it is the physical layer of OSI Reference Model. Which protocols are application layer protocols? VTP, IPv6, HTTPS, STP, and FTP. HTTPS and FTP are two application layer protocols. Yes, we have finished our video and we have finished our OSI reference model lesson. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Good luck!